Um, alright. So, if you're talking about places in the world that don't get mental health professional care, jumping right into the topic of like getting help right right when you're in crisis. Uh, Nova Scotia is weird because the bedrock here, that's kind of the topic today while you're watching, is that the bedrock here is like clayish, like a mud, clay, rock, a bedrock, and that is why my mental health can't be proven to the point where it's good to talk about, because it's it's radioactive. It's a part that was in Chernobyl, which is the uranium, and this whole place is like the background of the Mona Lisa. Figuring out that it was like that was so intense. Like, I was under everything and I just didn't want to quiet my concerns, so I just started talking with the people that have been here their entire lives, and I just got very upset thinking that I was always going to be alone into all of it. But if they actually understand the way they had listened during that time when I told them that there's a reason why people around Nova Scotia are the way they are, and they don't like newcomers from other provinces because it may be a retirement community kind of, but not everyone wants to be listening to and watching people come from other provinces and live a best life here, because we have lots of things to be proud of Nova Scotia, but everyone coming here just to visit and go beach wise vacation destinations. It's just different here because the community here doesn't want to accept all these new things because it's too fast. The mental health here has to do with the climate, and if they never talked about the climate here and how the sun spikes up the bedrock from under here and it makes people sick. Medicine should be outrightly given here without people needing to explain themselves of their mental health, because that's a physical barrier that they have to try to distinguish to a doctor when there's not all that many doctors here, because all those doctors deserve to be on the more expensive medicine so that they can do their jobs right, but that's not happening. So we are kind of like the end of the world here, and that's the kind of ends that people do here, but it's not like it's always talked about because not everyone has been frozen into a healthy state of mind, so it's actually needed to be worked for. The kids here, everything. We need all these services more than any other province, because I've been across Canada. I don't really care much for my past life, knowing that I'm very privileged, but this life here in Nova Scotia is so different that I wouldn't say now that other provinces or countries should be coming into our area. Not even to practice or study. Like, the university up the street should be used as another destination for like furthering education and adults. All these other places on the campus used. I don't think we should have a university here, because even I had some workers and they were in the organization that's looking after me, and she said she went to the hospital but she wasn't feeling well, and it was just her borderline. But you have to understand that if you have mental health issues in a climate that doesn't have enough research or study on the mental health area, you have doctors taking their best guess at whatever you're going through. Never mind if you have a destination, location in your brain that where it functions from, and then you have a killer brain And it's like you have to train because nobody wants to be a killer. It's just a physical thing. And if the soul you have has turned inwards, that's like a double. So there's like the spiritual aspect of your soul and being a whole being, but then there's the part where your brain is not functioning as per whether you needed medication. So if this climate makes our brains that way, we have 10 times more chance of getting or having premature death because of the climate. But we get climate incentive, we get taxes for going through this. But the thing is, if you don't train and try your best and stay motivated and be kind here, you're proposing bad things when you come back into, say, your soul gets really sick here. You can't just accept that as it is. You have to get better, or else your soul will come back to another life and you'll be suffering, because souls are connected to the physical body, which is your duty is to keep yourself healthy. And then there's the question about God. But to me, when I moved to Nova Scotia, I didn't have any questions. It was just kind of pressured on me, because that's all they want to say in the media nowadays is about God and Jesus. But Jesus was probably frickin' King Tut's brother. Like, you don't know, because you don't have those Catholic, those temple Egyptian records. Only they do, to see if you guys would choose bad. I don't know, maybe they did a huge test with frickin' Justin Trudeau and his wife to see if they would make bad things happen, and are they fixable. So that's all I think about them. You don't know if King Tut had a brother, and if he was just growing a braid for him and ended up being something like Jesus. That idea could have of the crucifixion could have been a long time ago, and it just, after a while, people just did it again. And what if it was the person that started the church all over again, freaking Saint Peter, and we just had the Pope die. So maybe never mind teaching the people that kind of history, because they could have turned it inwards, like the souls going inwards themselves. So I don't know. Seems like a conversation that could lead you to drink. For me, it's just Powerade. But if you do travel to Nova Scotia and you want to visit a couple destinations, I would suggest going on the Nova Scotia website and probably just looking at their map of where the radiation from under us spikes up, because they have that record and they do tests, but maybe that's just not the kind that the university students need to know if they want to keep a university here. But the university students come from other countries, and if they're here for like 4 years, they're going to get some kind of sickness. But you don't have to remember that sickness. But if you care about like functioning, physical functioning, you're not going to want to study here, because you have to be pretty strong to go through that, and independent. And you're going to have to know how to deal with anxiety here, because once you dissociate and become borderline, which is one of like the main health things here, borderline is when you dissociate, and like I said, the soul turning inwards, you got all these other layers scaffolded on top of each other. You're not going to want to know your marks, even your grades, because it's a whole different situation and circumstance. Pray that, yeah. I have been in Nova Scotia for at least 2 years straight now. I know I moved here with my family during COVID and I left because I wanted to try to make it on my own. But if you want to go make it on your own, at least have some research of where you're going and what's going to be around there and your resources and supports. Because if you go somewhere and you're not prepared, there's less chances of success, and all you're going to be feeding off of miracles. This one, I've been doing other activities in Nova Scotia since I've been here 2 years now. I went through mental health. I mean, the people around here know the rumors, what I've done, but it's nothing bad. It's just even the suicidal thing, the whole situation was talked about, but then I had to tell when I was going to get my picture and my license, the first part is I had to tell them that I have tried suicide, and they didn't know anything about it. They're government workers, but they had to put it on my record just in case, because nobody wants to be blamed for why things happen, and I don't want to lie, but lie is in my name, which sucks. Anyways, so these are the couple things I want to show before I get off video, because I don't really like the material I've been posting so far. Maybe I'll need like a new camera or something, but whatever. Maybe it's a campaign trail. Maybe not. So this is just an eye. It's upside down. Here, this one, the eye is bleeding, and the eye is noticeably tired, drooping, but this is the wing right here. But anyways, I drew Pierre Poilievre, and that was just the elections, so I drew him. Then there was a policeman, and I drew him, Mr. Cop. And I don't draw, so I don't know what's possessed me to draw, but it's been going good. Here's another person. He has more of a mustache. He's chilling. Skip that one. This one is another guy. He's like an engineer looking guy. This is my dad. That's my dad. That was the most favorite one to draw, because it's wet. And it came with a sharpener. It came with some pencils, erasers, and the whole case for it is Mona Lisa. Since I love her so much, I guess I was probably very connected to her. That'd be funny if you did a genealogy record and found out that you were related to her, which would be awesome. But yeah, so the next video will look very different. It's going to be more professional, and having a professional base is kind of what you need to gain those viewers, because you don't want to be a raw state all the time. You want to make something of it. So next time you see me, I'll have longer hair, eyebrows, and maybe I'll be doing some kind of trail instead of just Jesus trails here, because I feel like that's the rest of what happens after you get crucified, is that, I don't know, Jesus was Leonardo da Vinci. Maybe Leo needs a part of life still. Just a life sequence, no pain. So I guess I'm glad I did it.